You know, my mom was a strong believer, and it gave us hope to see her again and for her to know that she's going to see us again.
What if I told you Loretta Lynn's daughter has just revealed shocking, never-before-seen details about the country legend's life? From hidden struggles to untold secrets, this unseen footage changes everything we thought we knew. Loretta Lynn's daughter speaks out. One of Loretta Lynn's twin daughters, Patsy Lynn Russell, is stepping forward to share personal stories about her legendary mother. Patsy, who was named after Loretta's close friend, country music artist Patsy Cline, grew up in an environment filled with music, fame, and the pressures of life as the child of a country music hero. Now that she is 60 years old, she is sharing information about her mother's life that her followers have never heard before. Patsy has always been proud of her mother's legacy, but she believes that now is the proper time to talk about what Loretta went through behind the scenes. She wants to respect her mother's memory and give fans a better idea of who Loretta really was outside of the spotlight, and that is why she has chosen to share these stories. Patsy believes that these insights are meant to reveal Loretta Lynn's human side, including the challenges, sacrifices, and fortitude that contributed to her being the extraordinary person she was. Patsy thinks that fans should be aware of the extent of her mother's tenacity and the obstacles she encountered during her life and career. Patsy decided to speak out now in part because of the huge response from followers after Loretta passed away in 2022. A lot of admirers contacted us to express how much Loretta's music had impacted their lives. Patsy believed that it was vital to do something in return for the fans who had supported her mother for so long. She wanted to tell stories that would help others understand and appreciate Loretta's journey even more. Patsy's own personal growth is another motivation for her decision. At this point in her life, she feels prepared to think about the things her mother taught her and to share those lessons with others. Patsy believes that this is a way to interact with fans and make sure that Loretta's legacy continues to inspire future generations. Patsy's insights are helping to create a picture of a lady who was not only a country music legend, but also a mother, wife, and friend. She wants people to understand how much strength it took for Loretta to ascend from poverty in Kentucky to become one of the most prominent musicians in country music. Patsy also tells stories about her mother's sense of humor, generosity, and deep love for her family, qualities that are sometimes overlooked because of her fame. Patsy wants to help fans understand her mother's life and the beliefs that motivated her by speaking up. This is a method for Patsy to keep Loretta's memory alive while also making sure that her story continues to motivate people who hear it. Loretta Lynn's life and career. Loretta Lynn was born on April 14, 1932, in Butcher Hollow, Kentucky. She was raised in a poor home during the Great Depression and was one of 8 siblings. Her father, Ted Webb, was a coal miner. It was a risky job that didn't pay enough to fully support the family. Their home was a small log cabin without electricity or running water, and they often struggled to make ends meet. Even with these difficulties, Loretta grew up surrounded by music. Loretta's love for music began when her mother played the guitar and sang folk songs. Loretta married Oliver Doolittle Lynn when she was only 15 years old. Life wasn't easy for the young couple, as they lived in poverty and moved around frequently while raising their children. By the age of 20, Loretta was a mother of 4. Her early marriage and tough life experiences shaped the way she saw the world, and later these experiences became the foundation of her music. Loretta wrote about her experiences with poverty, family issues, and strength. This made her songs easy for many people to connect with. When Loretta began her singing career, she had to overcome the extra difficulty of being a woman in a male-dominated field. Back then, women were often expected to take a place, but Loretta refused to let that stop her. She wrote songs that addressed real problems women faced and performed them with honesty and confidence, paving the way for other female artists to follow. Loretta started her singing career in 1960 with her first song, I'm a Honky-Tonk Girl. She and her husband traveled across the country to promote the song, visiting radio stations to get it on the air. Their hard work paid off when the song became popular, attracting the attention of Decca Records, one of the top record labels then. In the years that followed, Loretta became very famous with a number of hit songs that shaped her success. One of her most well-known songs, Coal Miner's Daughter, came out in 1970. The song was a deep expression of her childhood in poverty and became her most famous song. Another popular song, You Ain't Woman Enough to Take My Man, showed Loretta's strong personality and quickly became a favorite, especially among women. Loretta wasn't afraid to take risks with her music. In 1975, she released The Pill, a bold song about birth control that sparked controversy. Many radio stations stopped playing it, but it still became popular, proving that Loretta wasn't afraid to address important topics. Songs like Fist City and Don't Come Home a-Drinkin' with Lovin' on Your Mind showed her strength and her skill in addressing women's situations directly. Her success wasn't limited to music. In 1980, her autobiography, Coal Miner's Daughter, was adapted into a movie starring Sissy Spacek, which introduced Loretta's story to a new audience. Loretta received many awards for her accomplishments in singing. She got 3 Grammy Awards and was the first woman to win the Country Music Association's Entertainer of the Year Award in 1972. She was also inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame in 1988, an honor that solidified her place in history as one of the greatest country artists of all time. Hidden struggles in Loretta's marriage. Loretta Lynn's marriage to Oliver Doolittle Lynn was marked by both devotion and deep challenges. Do, as he was often called, played a key role in supporting Loretta's early music career, but their relationship was fraught with conflicts that often remained hidden from the public eye. From the beginning, their union was a complex mix of love and struggle. Do had a fiery personality and could be controlling, which often clashed with Loretta's growing independence as she gained success in the music industry. Their disputes were frequent and occasionally heated. Do's strong opinions about how Loretta should manage her career and their household often caused tension between them. He wanted Loretta to cling to traditional responsibilities as a wife and mother, even as she climbed to renown and took on the demands of being a professional artist. This situation put a lot of pressure on their relationship, particularly during the times when Loretta's job needed her to be away from home for long stretches. Do's battle with alcohol made the challenges even more difficult. His drinking caused unpredictable behavior that added stress to their home life. Do could be charming and supportive at times, but his excessive drinking often led to arguments that disrupted the family's stability. Loretta later recalled how these periods caused her to constantly negotiate between preserving calm at home and focused on her career. Do's cheating was one of the most traumatic parts of Loretta's marriage. Loretta was very saddened by his unfaithfulness, but she remained dedicated to their marriage, even though it took an emotional toll on her. She confronted the betrayal directly and decided to express her pain via her songs. Loretta was motivated to write many of her songs by these hardships, which gave her a way to express her thoughts via creativity. Loretta's ability to forgive and move on was a sign of her strength. Even when her personal life was in disarray, she remained committed to keeping her family together and providing her children with a feeling of stability. Loretta had to deal with the emotional stress of her husband's behavior while also continuing to establish her business. This decision often came at a high personal cost to her. Do's drinking was another major obstacle. His alcohol consumption sometimes led to erratic behavior that created tension within their household. Loretta was responsible for managing her career as well as the consequences of Do's drinking, which may include everything from little disruptions to significant disputes. Even so, she did not allow these obstacles to interfere with her growth. Loretta stayed focused on her goals and found strength in her ability to keep going even when things were tough. Loretta's family was inevitably impacted by the difficulties in her marriage. Loretta and Do had 6 children, and even though Loretta did her best to protect them from the worst of her marital problems, they still felt the effects. Loretta's stressful job, along with the ongoing tension at home, created a situation in which it was often difficult to maintain stability. Loretta's children observed their mother's passion and tenacity firsthand. She worked relentlessly to ensure that her children were cared for, even when Du's drinking or infidelity added burden to their lives. Loretta's children were left with a lasting impression of her ability to balance her responsibilities as a mother and a performer. Many of them later spoke about her strength and determination. The early years of Loretta's marriage and work were defined by financial uncertainty. Loretta and Doolittle often had a hard time making enough money to get by. While Loretta was trying to make it as a musician, she still had to take care of things at home. The family was impacted by this ongoing financial pressure because they had to give up basic comforts in order to get by. Loretta's success brought about new challenges. Doolittle was left to maintain the family on his own because she had to spend significant periods of time away from home due to touring and recording. This arrangement produced stress between them, since Loretta's absence created a sense of isolation within the family. The family's problems were compounded by the obligation to maintain a flawless public image. Loretta's rising fame came with it a greater level of scrutiny, which had an impact not just on her but also on her husband and children. They had to deal with their personal problems while also living in the public eye. Another source of stress was conflict within the family. Loretta frequently had to step in and mediate because Doolittle's drinking and behavior made the setting unstable. During this time, she was continually tested on her ability to combine her profession, family commitments, and personal issues. Daughter's revelations. Loretta Lynn's daughter, Patsy Lynn, recently opened up about the struggles her family faced behind the scenes. Patsy shared that her mom, Loretta, worked really hard to take care of the family, even though it often meant sacrificing her own health and happiness. She explained how Loretta juggled the pressures of being a famous country music star with the responsibilities of being a wife and mom. Despite her success, Loretta always made sure to put her family first, even when she was physically and emotionally drained. Patsy talked about how hard it was when Loretta had to be away for tours. Although Loretta stayed in touch with phone calls and letters, her kids still missed having her around. When Loretta came home, she made sure to spend as much quality time with them as possible. But even though she tried, the time apart was still tough for the family, especially for the kids. Another challenge Loretta faced was dealing with her husband Doolittle's drinking problems. Patsy remembered how his behavior often created difficult situations at home that Loretta had to handle. Even with these issues, Loretta never lost focus on keeping her family safe and giving them a stable life. Loretta's busy schedule also took a toll on her health. Patsy said that her mom often struggled with migraines and was exhausted from the constant work. Loretta didn't show this side of herself to the public, but her family saw it. Patsy admired how Loretta kept going despite these health issues and never gave up, even when it was hard. Loretta's strength and determination were something that Patsy really looked up to. But Loretta's hard work wasn't just about fame or success. Patsy explained that Loretta worked so hard because she wanted to give her children a better life. She came from humble beginnings and wanted to make sure her kids had the opportunities she didn't. Loretta's determination to succeed was all about building a better future for her family. Even with all these struggles, Patsy said that the family was always there to support Loretta. They worked together to help her handle the pressures of being famous, offering encouragement when she needed it most. Despite the challenges, the family's bond stayed strong. Loretta's love and commitment to her children kept them united, no matter what they went through. Addiction challenges. The pressures and fatigue of Loretta Lynn's career weighed heavily on her, leading her to seek ways to cope with the demands of her relentless schedule. During the 1970s, her lifestyle took a toll on her mental and physical health, causing insomnia that made it even harder to maintain her energy. To manage the overwhelming fatigue, Loretta turned to sleeping pills. At first, they provided a means of getting the rest she desperately needed after long days of touring and recording. Their initial effects were a welcome relief, allowing her to recover from the exhaustion that came with her hectic routine. However, as time went on, what began as a temporary solution turned into a dependency. The pills became a fixture in her life, a tool she leaned on more and more. Despite the fleeting relief they offered, the dependency only added to the stress that already came with her career and personal life. She had to balance being a star in the public eye with maintaining a family life at home, all while grappling with the addiction that quietly crept into her daily routine. What had once been a helpful crutch now became another challenge she had to face. The expectations placed on Loretta by her fans, the media, and the music industry made it difficult for her to address her dependency. As a public figure, she felt immense pressure to present herself as composed, confident, and strong at all times. Behind the scenes, however, she struggled with the pressures of fame and the personal toll it took on her health. The exhaustion, both physical and emotional, was compounded by the weight of addiction, and Loretta felt as though she had no room to be vulnerable or admit to the toll it was taking on her. It wasn't until Loretta realized the extent of her dependency that she decided to take control of the situation. She sought help from medical professionals who helped her gradually reduce her reliance on sleeping pills. This process wasn't easy. Breaking free from the pills was a difficult and painful journey, but Loretta's determination to regain control over her life was steadfast. Her resilience in tackling this personal struggle spoke volumes about her strength and commitment to overcoming challenges. At the same time, Loretta's children were growing up and witnessing firsthand the toll her career was taking on her. As the youngest of her children, Patsy Lynn had a unique perspective on her mother's struggles. She often spoke about how Loretta worked tirelessly to fulfill her roles as a performer and a mother, striving to provide for her family while maintaining a sense of normalcy at home. Despite the constant demands of her career, Loretta made every effort to spend time with her children, even if it meant being physically exhausted. She returned home from long tours, drained of energy, yet still made time for her family. Though Loretta tried to shield her children from the worst aspects of her struggles, they were acutely aware of the toll her career took on her. Patsy shared how she would often see her mother exhausted, but Loretta would rarely let that show in public. Her ability to separate her struggles from her role as a mother was something her children admired. Loretta's priority was always to ensure that her children felt loved and supported, regardless of the challenges she was facing. Even when Loretta was physically worn out, she kept her focus on being a present and supportive mother. As Loretta worked to overcome her dependency on sleeping pills, her children were there to support her. Patsy recalled how the family rallied around Loretta during this difficult time. While the situation was challenging, the process of healing brought the family closer together. They leaned on each other for support, strengthening their bond as they navigated this difficult chapter of Loretta's life together. This shared experience helped to build an even deeper sense of family unity and mutual support. Loretta's children held a deep admiration for her strength and resilience. They saw how much she sacrificed to provide for them, even when the pressures of her career became overwhelming. Through it all, Loretta remained steadfast in her commitment to her family, and her children learned invaluable lessons from her example. They learned about the importance of perseverance, how to prioritize family despite external pressures, and the strength that comes from confronting and overcoming personal struggles. In addition to her professional and personal commitments, Loretta also found ways to include her children in her life. She shared her passion for music with them, teaching them songs and involving them in her creative process. Even during the busiest times of her career, these moments of connection helped to strengthen the bond between Loretta and her children. Music became a shared language that allowed them to connect on a deeper level, and these experiences left a lasting impression on her children. Loretta's children grew to understand the unique challenges their mother faced as a performer in the public eye. They recognized the immense pressure she was under and appreciated the effort she put into balancing her career with family life. While it wasn't always easy, Loretta's dedication to her children and their well-being left an indelible mark on them. Her determination to keep going, even when the world seemed to be demanding too much, showed her children the importance of resilience and love, shaping the way they would approach their own lives and challenges. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more unseen footage and shocking revelations. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you next time.